Hey everyone, welcome to the Global Lit Crawl, which is now Lit Crawl San Francisco. My name is Jack Bulwer on behalf of Litquake. Thank all of you so much for coming, tuning in to this experiment in virtual Zoom programming for Litquake. 12 hours in a row we're doing. Tonight is a closing night of Litquake, San Francisco's literary festival, and we're in the midst of this Lit Crawl, which is running, it has been running since 10:30 a.m. Pacific time this morning, and we're going until 10:30 p.m. tonight with 25 events and 7 cities around the world. We've already done the other cities, so now it's all about San Francisco. This nonprofit festival, before we begin, we just want to mention we're a nonprofit. Almost everything in the festival is free this year, 16 days of programming. And we could not exist without the generosity of all of you in the arts community and people who have donated to us. So if you believe in keeping literature an essential component of San Francisco's cultural landscape, you might want to consider dropping us a few bucks just to help us out. Every bit helps. Yes, it's free, but Zoom costs. So we accept donations on Venmo at Litquake, on PayPal at info@litquake, or go directly to our website at litquake.org. After this event, there's going to be a little survey that pops up. We ask you to sort of take a few minutes, just fill it out, let us know who you are and what you are interested in, and that helps us raise money for the next one. So now let's get started with our event. Flor y Canto returns to the Lit Crawl in San Francisco. And here is your host for this segment from the wilds of Oakland, California. Please welcome Ricardo Tavares.
Hello. Thank you everyone for coming out. Thank you for supporting Flor y Canto. Flor y Canto has a long history, about 40 years worth of history in La Misión de San Francisco. And we have 5 amazing poets for you today, people who have been part of organizing Flor y Canto, collaborating with Flor y Canto, and let's go ahead, let's get started. You're gonna have a chance to listen to 5 poets today. The first is Amalia Alvarez. Amalia Alvarez was born in San Diego, Califas. She holds an MFA in poetry from UC Riverside and an MA in creative writing from San Francisco State University. She has published in her writing in Street Sheet, El Tecolote, Border Senses, Cipatli, Leaf by Leaf, Cesura, Hayden's Ferry Review, the Oaxaca Times, and Femme Magazine. Please put your hands together for Amalia Alvarez.
Okay, thank you, Ricardo. Can you hear me? Am I good? Okay, great. I'm just gonna see if I can. Oh, well, okay. Sorry, I can't quite see myself, but that's okay. So just real quick, thank you everyone for being here. And I'm just gonna light a candle and just in honor of our guides and our ancestors and my fellow poetas here, as well as everyone tuning in right now in the spirit of healing. We just ask for our word and our truth and our love and beauty to be put forth for everyone. Okay, empezamos. La poesía salva, dice la calavera, con barebone cabeza, with eyes of black tunnel. Something is dead between us. There's a poem in my teeth, made of seashells and thread. The dead ones are coming. You can tell by the chimes. The cymbals clang and the skeletons march in with the wind. The air is crisp and dusk is calm. The dead caress. Dizzy bones prance the earth. The bouncy eyes appear and neon teeth flash in the darkness. Welcome home, abuelito. I've missed you. Your trademark arm bent to elbow, fingers into fist and bicep into bubble. It had to be the comida or the liquor. Something was tasty. Órale, good shit. I offer una botella de cazadores, regalitos de tequila for you and your papas, Ramona y Ursino. Pink mounds of sweetbread, sunny marigolds with thick cabezas, a basket of citrus, corn, stalks of sugarcane, white candles, and scattered pinto beans. Outside, a crowd of masked dancing bodies is followed by a marching band. The muertos parade the streets, going house to house, gathering food and drink. There are lucha libre fighters, devils with pointy eyebrows and slithery smiles, goat creatures with human legs, an ugly pig, a horse face, men dressed in drag, a bandana zapatista with tethered skin and gray braids sharpens her machete. An Adelita from the Mexican Revolution in heavy skirt and ammo vest gives former President Benito Juarez a piggyback ride. Diego Rivera chases La Adelita, hooting about how chula she is, telling her he wants to paint her portrait. Sor Juana on the sidelines watching sticks out a foot from her habit. Diego thuds the dirt road. A skeleton in sombrero and black cape takes a swig from a bottle of mezcal. He snaps, steps side to side, like they do in West Side Story. He sends his grito up above to the eggshell moon. Winking at me from outside the window, the skeleton stretches out his bony mano and begins to sing. He sounds like Jose Alfredo Jimenez. Ojalá que te vaya bonito, que se llenan de sangre tus venas, y te vista la vida de suerte. I wish that you go well, that your veins fill with blood and you see a life of luck. Muertos in disguise, coming home for a visit. Bienvenido, abuelito. I love you with sage and frijoles. With roses and la bandera mexicana. On the altar, a virgin votive burns, a squash-colored flame. Thank you. You guys.
All right, thank you, Amalia. Thank you, Amalia. Y Salucita. Up next for you, Rebecca Flores is a Salvadoreña and Mexican-American artist from Fresno, California. Her literary work can be found in publications like El Tecolote, Soma Arts, Flies and Cockroaches and Poets. Her visual work has been shown at Juan R. Fuentes Gallery, Noisebridge, San Francisco, Broadway Studios 1418 Fulton, and she is currently a Latinx teaching artist fellow at Root Division. She enjoys skateboarding and misses museums. Give it up for Rebecca Flores.
Cool. Thank you, Amelia. That was amazing. That was awesome. So during the pandemic, I just got really close to the ginkgo tree, and like I sat under it and wrote under it for quite some time, and this is what came out of that. My poem is called Tree Time. Tree Time. In a Fresno IHOP, my dad convinces me to look into burial plots. Discover the idea that history plays in the memory of ground. Let me tell you about my tree. An old ginkgo tree had fallen 1,000 years ago. On YouTube, a man makes a cupboard, and on Earth, we both share a myth. I would like to take a moment to explain summer. Fanning leaves, lemon, mosquitoes buzzing, to 7-Eleven chocolate chip ice cream, hand-holding with snails up an animal print trunk, blowing bubbles to birds and bugs we can only see in sunlight. Have I learned anything at all? Let me tell you about a tree coexisting with dinosaurs, with carpenters and instigators. Sit and wait for the next breeze. Will I ever again be asked to hold memory? Speak a word coming winter, spring. Long branches holding buds. What a wonder. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Rebecca. Up next, Cesar Love is a Latinx poet who lives in San Francisco's Mission District. His 2020 deeds include studying stand-up comedy and work in quarantine hotels, where he served meals to COVID positive residents. All right, please give it up for Cesar Love.
Thank you, Ricardo. My first poem is called Cheekbones. The handsome native, his cheekbones are not chiseled. They are not made of granite. They are not made of marble. The handsome native, his cheekbones are flesh and bone. They have felt hurricanes. They have met tornadoes. The handsome native, his face fathoms all weather. He has withstood hatred. He has withstood other small winds. So my next poem's called Night Riders. Under this moon, he is Paul Revere, and he knows it. So does the chrome of his bicycle. They are outlaws on a forbidden path across the city, through the country. They elude the sheriff. They defy someone else's king. He and his wheels are drunk on moonbeams. Under this moon, she is Harriet Tubman, and she knows it. So does the silver of her skateboard. She and her board are fugitives. They sneak across trestles, they duck through tunnels, gliding on tracks, gleaming in moonlight. Under this moon, riders with silver in their veins, riders on the artery of freedom. Trespasser shoes. Shoes perfect for the fastest dance. Shoes so cool, even jaywalkers swoon. Shoes that scale barbed wire, 2 taps and you're invisible to every cop and guard. Shoes that violate the dress code, shoes that never came in a box. The shoes that skip over stairs, that short circuit escalators, 3 taps and you leap above foul lines, flagpoles, border checkpoints. Trespasser shoes, polished with a darker shade of saint, hiding in your closet, waiting to walk on water. So my last poem's called Donut Shop, and it's just when we break out of this Zoom prison, we can all meet at a donut shop somewhere. Most customers order theirs to go, the glazed, the old-fashioned, the maple bars. They take theirs in small white bags or in the big pink boxes. Then there are those who order for here, the ones who nest at the counter or sit beside the window. Their daydreams floating like buttermilk bars and memories uncurling like cinnamon rolls. Their amusements twirl, their ideas fancy as French twists. Laborsome steam ascends from the coffee pots. Dark roast, Kona, or hazel, refills on the house. Thank you.
Thank you, Cesar. Thank you very much. Up next, we have Fer de la Cruz. Fer de la Cruz has written 3 books about COVID-19, 2 of which have already been published, along with books that feature lyrical poetry, satirical poetry, poetry for children, and literary translation. Fer believes that poetry can be written from life, from emotion, from language, or from anything, right? That every classic or experimental form is definitely valid. Fer has an MA from Ohio University He has spent many years teaching literature in his native Yucatan. In addition, he has also taught creative writing and has organized open mic poetry events and has served as a board member for his local library. Fer is currently working on a PhD at the University of California, Irvine. All right, please give it up for Fer de la Cruz.
All right, gracias, Ricardo. I just happened to find my own Spanish version of Cesar Love's Trespasser Shoes, idóneos zapatos para el baile más veloz, tan chéveres que incluso los peatones que cruzan carreteras acaban extasiados, zapatos que trascienden las púas de los alambres. Cesar, that's a great poem. I'm going to read two of my own. I wrote this one 4 years ago. It's very, very short. And here it goes. Saddest limerick of them all. There was some maniac named looking for something to hump. A green statue he found, and for a second round, a white dove who now lies in a dump. This next one is more recent, much more recent. Non-compliant. But here in COVID town, during the plague, you click instead of knocking on web pages, not on doors. One will open so many other options before your very eyes, but not the one. Yes, such is life. Keep scrolling down. Or call for help. The subscriber you have dialed is not in service. No, but time goes on between the clicks. And the next half hour is only one click away. That one last click, like that last cough when coughing, the great click to end all clicks. Only one more that multiplies before an ocean, a wildfire, a pandemic of clicks that led you here. Now you are almost finished. Please fill out a survey on how you like this poem. Time is clicking, so to speak. The options are A, I loved it. B, it's fantastic. C, an instant classic. Thank you for listening. Click on complete and exit, or your status will be kept as non-compliant. Gracias. Right on.
All right, gracias, Fer, gracias, Fer. All right, our final poet for this event, the Flor y Canto for Litquake 2020. Josiah Luis Alderete is a full-blooded Pocho Spanglish speaking poet from La Área de la Bahía who learned to write poetry in the kitchen of his mama's Mexican restaurant. He curates and hosts the Latinx reading series Speaking Al Xolot in Oakland, which happens every third Thursday in collaboration with Nomadic Press. Josiah's book of poems is forthcoming from Black Freighter Press. Please give it up for Josiah Luis Alderete.
¿Qué pasa, mi raza? What's happening, beautiful people? I can't see you, but I know you're there. I'm coming to you live from the 101-year-old Lawrence Ferlinghetti's offices above City Lights Books. Que viva la literature in San Pancho is alive and well. So I'm going to dedicate this poema to all my 24th Street Chicano dinosaurs and 16th Street Latinx test tube babies. You know who you are. ¿Qué somos, mi gente? ¿Qué somos? Pues somos starlight, that was left over in the glove box of Xochipilli's yellow El Camino. Somos nopal espinas that pricked our tata abuela's sueños of living here in los United States. Somos scared childhood crossing la frontera momentos that are tattooed forever on El Cucuy's left arm. ¿Qué somos, mi gente? Somos a conejo that you can see quite clearly on Cuyushhuacui when you look up at the night sky. Somos the torn out páginas of a history book nadie was gonna read anyway. Somos the candelas still burning on the corner ofrendas back in our old neighborhoods. Somos the smell of burnt tortillas. Somos frijoles that have been soaking in a bowl of water since the beginning of this quinto sol. Que somos, mi gente? Somos africano features hidden behind zapatista bigotes. Somos africano rhythms played on a vaquita's jawbone. Somos that smoke in Chavela's voice every time she sings Paloma Negra. Somos the broken taillights of a .com conquistador's car as he drives over shell mounds on his way to the next century's chingadera. Que somos, mi gente? Somos the first drops of divina sangre that Huetzliopochtli shed in defense of his mama. Somos the sweet taste of nopal syrup and amaranth cakes, which the colonizers mistook for the taste of human flesh and blood. Somos a frontera folktale about the time El Diablo came to the pachanga dressed in the skin of a handsome blue-eyed white man with the feet of a chicken. Somos the black and red scribbles inside of Viejita's dream that made up her life that Mictlán Tecutli is watching like a sitcom rerun right now. Que somos, mi gente? Somos the smell of death, quietly emanating off the papayas in front of the mercados around 16th Street. Somos a bright pink prom dress found in the doorway of Esta Noche the day after they close. Somos a 500-year-old joyride in a blue-eyed demigod stolen ranfla with the bones of the 1,000 conquistadors who he killed on La Noche Triste in the trunk, man. Somos ancestors who are children. Somos the severed parts of our own goddesses. Somos gods who left their own body parts behind to help create time. Que somos, mi gente? Somos the wrinkles of our abuelita's skin. Somos the flayed skins of Xepitoltec. Somos Ashayacat's palace rising up in this day and age out of Mexico City concrete. Somos wooden prayers set under serpent skirt night skies. Somos Spanish surnames and the last known European address of Doña Malitzin. Somos words that white America can pronounce. Que somos, mi gente? Somos the last box of Brown Ben Davis pants buried in the terremoto ruins after the big one finally hit San Pancho. Somos constellations that can only be seen if you hold the sky up to a smoking mirror. Somos mariposas de humo that disappears. They flutter across that pinche border. Somos North American pesadillas stuffed inside a Donald Trump piñata. No dulces, no manzanitas, just pesadillas. Somos a pile of huesos out on la frontera that no one's ever gonna find. Somos brown-skinned children in American cages left to die. Somos Spanglish-speaking cempasúchiles, watered with agua that comes from ni de aquí, ni de allá, man, and somehow we keep growing. ¿Qué somos, mi gente? ¿Qué somos?
Yeah.
Thank you to all my beautiful Flor y Canto poets too, man. I loved hearing you all. It just made me realize how much I miss seeing each of you read. Yeah, for real. We're gonna meet at that donut shop, Cesar. We'll bring some pan dulce, some fucking donuts. It's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be beautiful.
Yes, yes, definitely start putting in your orders now. If you want the, if you want the pink concha, or if you want the chocolate concha, if you're like me, you like the one that has a little bit of everything on it, right?
Well, this was written at that Cambodian place where you did the reading.
Yeah. Happy, the one on 16th in South Van Ness.
The jelly donut, 24th of South.
Yeah. Did
Yes.
they open back up yet?
No.
Damn. This is Litquake. We're talking about donuts and shit. I love it. Love it. I love it.
Legendary donut spot where, you know what? They show you love with just food up in there, man. Like
Eat extra.
They give you like 6 extra.
Donuts
yeah,
in the morning.
Flor y
exactly.
Canto, where donuts and pan dulce meet.
Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you, poets. Gracias por asistir y apoyar. Aquí estamos y no nos vamos. Thank you for always representing. Every person you read amazingly today. Each poet that you heard today doesn't just talk the talk, but they walk the walk. They live the word. So thank you, Litquake. Thank you for representing El Barrio right here. Duro y directo en vivo right here with Flor y Canto. All right, everyone. Thank you very much.
Thanks for the attendees too. Gracias, people, for listening to us.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you, Ricardo, for hosting. And
Yeah, Ricardo.
Litquake.